India Gold Conference, and we have Mr. Sudhish Nambiar with us. He's from IGPC. So, if we are talking about the responsible sourcing, in these 2 years, we have seen a lot of changes which have happened in the gold industry. So, where is this responsible sourcing heading to?
Thank you. It's been a pleasure talking to you on the subject. Just that over the last 2 years, we've been offline. On responsible sourcing front, it's been a good initiative by NSE on setting up the NSE refinery standards, and followed by that you had MCX and BSE following that. They created a market. I need to agree for that. They created a market for small refiners,
Right.
or the Indian refiners, who have the India Good Delivery technical standards available with them. Now it's being clubbed with the responsible sourcing part that's been created.
Right.
And what they're trying to do is take the RMI and RGCs, they got them on board, and the same governance structure has been used there for all the refiners.
Right.
Now the point is, it's been 2 years, it's getting to be almost 2 years,
Yeah.
and do we have any refiner yet on board?
Yeah.
Sadly, none yet. Can COVID be the reason for it? I strongly doubt. I think that's still not much of an incentive, not much of an awareness within the refiners to come ahead and work towards building a responsible supply chain, and that is kind of a bit worrisome. Although there's been quite a lot of discussions happen, we have had multiple forums with the refiners and OECD. Sadly, none on board yet. So that's where it stands currently. If you were to ask me, are they sourcing from any countries that are of high risk areas? It's looking at it, they are not, or by the definition of it, by definition of from where these refiners are sourcing, it's not. It is just that they don't want to go that extra mile, doing that supplier's due diligence, supplier's due diligence.
Right. That is also one important thing.
And that's the key thing there, which is not being done. We look forward to refiners' cooperation on that, and because they need to make it a success if India Good Delivery Standards need to have a global acceptance. Secondly, when the EGR comes in place,
Electronic gold receipts,
at the domestic spot exchange comes in place, I'm sure that's going to be mandatory. A responsible sourcing guidelines is going to be mandatory.
Yes.
Okay, so it is up to them. They want to create a market.
Yeah.
They want to capture the market there. There will be no point at one stage saying that we have not much of a big role to play in the electronic gold receipts, in the domestic spot exchange,
That is.
because enough time has been given actually to them,
Right.
but no initiative has been taken.
Yeah.
So they need to step themselves up, bars for performance and delivery.
Yeah.
Unless they do, they are going to be big losers.
Perfectly. I can totally understand. Now it's, we are talking about India International Bullion Exchange, as well as the green signal has been given to the spot exchange. But what about if we talk about the Dore part? How is that going to get into a channelized section if we talk about? What do you have to say on this?
I think Dore is something too early to talk about when you're talking about the international spot exchange.
Yeah.
Sorry, India International Bullion
Yes.
Exchange. Rather, we could look at it this way: when the Dore refiners in India, when these refiners are accredited for both the governance and technical standards, and then you have the LBMA refiner.
Right.
Will there be an opportunity created for them to export the domestic refined bullion to international market? So when that is being allowed, so that is where the change is going to be with respect to Dore.
Okay.
To put this in context, why it all matters.
So usually we understand that the Dore import is around 50 to 60%.
Yeah, I was just coming to that. Yeah. So you just directed me to that, what I was getting to next. So it's 55 to 60%, right? Now, why is it only 55-60%? Why it is not 100%?
Yeah, that's what.
Whereas the capacity utilization is only about 40%
Yes.
of all the, of even the largest refiners,
Right.
40-50%,
Right.
and the rest of them is 20%.
Yeah.
Why do they do that? Because India is a one-way market. They can't export Dore from refined bullion from India.
Right.
So for instance, when you create a market for these refiners,
Right.
for bringing Dore, refine it, and supply it to the global market, they are in a position to accept continuous feeds. When they are in a position to accept continuous feeds, they are in a better position to bargain with the supplier mines,
Right.
aggregators.
Right.
on a long-term agreement.
Right.
I would say even a long-term agreement is as good as 1 year is a long-term agreement in the current structure.
Right.
Because currently they get to India, and when the market is in discount, they move it to Dubai.
Right.
When it's created a two-way market, then they will start moving all the doré to India, refine it, and as per the demand date, gets supplied to India, and the rest is balance exported.
Yes.
So eventually what happens, the domestic refiners capacity also, they start utilizing the capacity capacity utilization increases, so the refined bullion market share actually starts shrinking. So refined bullion market share shrinks, so you are creating a value added product within India is being consumed within India. Instead of foreign refined bars, we start
producing our own refined bars.
And we are also in the position to export bars to a global market.
Till the purity is we have recently come to know that IGM Indian government has produced a reference material.
Yeah, that's about 2 years back. 2 years back.
2 years back, or 2018 it was around. So they have created a reference material. So you think with this, getting a high purified bars, it will add on to an export later on from our country.
Absolutely, but it was important that India did create a reference bar, reference standards bar. How well is this going to be accepted by international refiners? So the cross recognition is something very important.
Very important.
Associations need to work towards that, to bringing that cross recognition. India government is not going to work on that. It's the association who needs to understand the importance of it, relevance of it, and start working towards it.
Right.
Currently, the domestic refiners who want to move up to LBMA standards, they face the difficulty of getting the reference material from overseas, because you need to have a license. A domestic reference bar actually creates quite good, not just the opportunity for this India government, but also for refiners to source it locally.
So how they are going to collab with the EGR and the GDR?
That remains a challenge. That's a challenge, but it's up to two regulators coming together, cross-recognizing again the GDR and EGR, and making it fungible. It's a pure technology play. If I have to put it simple, it's a pure technology play. Once the bill of entry is filed, or rather before the bill of entry is filed, when the GDR is extinguished by allocating it to a specific customer, and post is when the bill of entry is filed.
Okay.
Just when the bill of entry is filed, it's quite possible that you create an EGR at that point in time, if it is not to be used for manufacturing purpose. So if it doesn't, if the gold is not going to move to a manufacturer for a jewelry manufacturer, or rather any fabrication work, makes sense to rather convert it immediately at the bill of entry point, not to EGR. There are accredited logistic companies. They put in the van. It's just as secure, and all this information are electronically captured and move it to the vault.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Exactly.
So
I feel over the years, it will become seamless, right?
So it's quite possible. So when somebody says that move it to the vault, what's the kind of risk there? I'm saying just create one vault at GIFT City. There's one vault in the IFSC area of GIFT City, create in the domestic area.
Right.
Within the 2 kilometers range or so. Just create one, just move it and store it there.
Right.
And it's all near the airport only. So for them to supply it anywhere across India, it makes easy.
Great. And how was your overall experience, and how is it going on in IJC?
Oh, I need to say it's been much different from since 2012 I've been attending, and I never seen audience packed during the sessions, when the sessions are ongoing.
Now the audience is packed usually it will be more networking areas, right? I understand, because a lot of changes are happening last 2 years now. They want to get updated with everything, whatever is happening.
That's a good sign.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. The industry is moving.
Right. People are now looking at more opportunities.
Regulation follow karne ka they are into.
Yeah. So trying to look into more opportunities ahead.
Yes. Great. Thank you so much. It was wonderful.
Thank you. It's been a
talking to
pleasure.
you. Yeah.